Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live, entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series. It's so great to have you here. Welcome to the show. We are live, and it's so nice to see everybody watching from literally all around the world. Thanks for all the great comments, all the terrific messages you've been sending to us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at Jim Masters TV about how much you're enjoying our series. And we, I believe, are one show away. I think tomorrow night's show, maybe 800 episodes, over 800 episodes in the time that we've been doing this series. That's incredible in some 2.5 years. Could you imagine that? 800 plus shows? Unreal. So thank you for watching, supporting, celebrating, sharing the links, and all the other cool things that you guys do. It's so great to have you here. Busy day for me. A lot of radio shows, getting ready for trips. So we got some TV shoots happening next week in Sacramento, California, Reno, Nevada. Then we're headed to Fort Lauderdale. We were going to be heading to Fort Lauderdale earlier, but we moved it because of the hurricane. We do want to, before we start, send our prayers and our good wishes out to everybody in Florida and, of course, the Carolinas who got hit by Hurricane Ian. It was an extraordinary storm, and I don't think there isn't anybody that doesn't know somebody in Florida, USA, family, friends, colleagues. So we just want to send our love to everybody who's been impacted by the hurricane. This is our first broadcast since that weekend storm. So, and we also, one of our very faithful, lovely viewers, Mary Bishop, who's been with us a long time. And unfortunately, she and her family, they're okay. They were evacuated from Pine Island, Florida, which was part of the bullseye, like Fort Myers and Naples and some of the areas. And then it took a path straight through Florida up to the Northeast, flooding and all kinds of stuff. But Pine Island was pretty much devastated, and they've just about lost everything. And she's a longtime loyal viewer of the Jim Masters Show Live. And she sent me this on one of the birthdays, Pine Island, Florida, and photos. And you may remember it was one of my birthdays, and I was opening up gifts on the show and cards from our faithful, lovely viewers. And Mary's always sent cards and Christmas cards and birthdays. And so we are thinking of Mary Bishop and her family and all affected in Florida and the Carolinas. But right now, toasting Mary with this beautiful Pine Island, Florida, a beautiful spot where she made her home, and they had to leave. The only way to be coming off the island was by helicopter, Coast Guard, or by boat. The bridges are washed out. The island is devastated. It's a beautiful area, Sanibel Island as well, the beautiful areas of Southwest Florida. So we just want to send our prayers and healing to Mary Bishop, one of our longtime viewers, and her entire family, because they've been seriously affected. They've had to relocate. They pretty much lost everything in the hurricane, and it's sad and devastating. So, you know, us here at the Jim Masters Show Live, we're all about good times and great episodes, but we're also real people, and we send our healing prayers, positive vibes, and levity to Mary. And again, all who have been affected by, we have family where their road was flooded, their street was flooded. They're fine, house fine, everything, but the street was flooded. So it's a little bit of a scary thing when you see your street rising with water. But we're getting remnants of it up here right now in the northeastern United States. We're in the New York area, between New York and Boston on the southern New England coast. Got some rain, a little wind, but nothing like what they experienced. We welcome everybody, our lovely family watching around the world. If this is your first time watching the Jim Masters Show Live, entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series, it's good to have you with us. We hope you'll join us regularly, and we hope you will binge watch the almost 800 episodes we have here on our series, which is extraordinary. It's really, really cool. If you would like to comment while the show is live, feel free to comment. You are welcome to comment when the show is live. If you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, which is Jim Masters TV, that's the channel where this series is and all the episodes. you can actually comment in our JMS Levity chat room. Many of you are commenting as well, saying hello to each other, with wishing each other well. We might even sprinkle a comment or two exclusively on the screen for all to see as well. Don't forget, during the shows, you can do super chat, super emoji, super stickers. All of that helps support the show. You can do that in chat, or you can do super thanks, which you can do on every episode during the show and after the show as well. So busy day here. We're planning for some TV projects coming in California, Nevada, Florida, and elsewhere, and just a busy, busy time. And it's a great time. Fall, you know, my birthday just passed. This is my nephew's and godson's birthday today. So I say happy birthday to my nephew and godson, Dominic. They're in Florida, and he's having a great day. So we send our love to our nephew and godson, Dom. His birthday, a lot of people's birthdays seems to be today. All Libras. Hey, guess what, gang? We've got a great guest. With all that said, sending our healing thoughts to everybody in Florida and the Carolinas, and just saying hello to you, as we like to do. We don't just do interviews. We don't even call these interviews. We call these conversations with you and with our guests. David Seering is here. And let me tell you, he was just telling me about how he opened for Mickey Gilley and opened for Phyllis Diller. That tells you about his range, but again, how long he's been doing what he's been doing, what he loves so much. David Seering is an extraordinary singer, songwriter, and musician. And he has an incredible background. He's been doing this for a long time. In the tradition of award-winning crossover hits like Bob Carlyle's Butterfly Kisses, veteran indie singer and songwriter David Seering has struck a chord with small-town America and within the country, and even beyond, people watching this internationally, faith-based communities, music communities, with his moving ballad. Now, he's written a lot of music. He's sung a lot of songs. He's a well-known individual, but this song here has really been touching people. The Vow. The song The Vow is a moving and lyrically rich tribute. He's also going to perform it for us live, gang. Yes, as a special treat, our guest, David Seering, who you see on the screen there, he's going to perform this song exclusively for us live. He's by his piano. We were just doing a little sound check there, which is awesome. So he's doing that special for all of us, which we really appreciate. The Vow is something truly special and near and dear to his heart. And there's a beautiful story behind it as well, gang. It's a rich tribute to his loving wife of decades. It also connects young and old couples with an ever-increasing wave of radio play across communities all over. His wife of 20 years, Lori, has Parkinson's disease. The Vow is a love letter to his wife that paints a romantic yet realistic picture of a strong, caring, faithful marriage. The song is about remembering the day they got married. No matter how bad things get, they still follow the vows that they made to each other. And as a primary caregiver of his wife, which he is, he'll never give up under any circumstances. The song leaves the listener with renewed hope that love can conquer all, and it invites us to embrace the victories and sacrifices of true love. It's an extraordinary song. You see just an image of it on the screen there. As I mentioned, and there is the cover of the actual album there. There you go. So look for that. And we're going to tell you how you can get it too. But he's got a lot of other music out there as well. He's even done tribute to Sinatra as well. He's got this song out there too. And he's really incredible. Matter of fact, he sang on the microphone, same microphone that Frank Sinatra did. We're going to talk about that. We're going to share his stories. He's coming to us. You guys remember probably, if you follow often, that I was just in the Dallas, Texas area on a television shoot, a big TV, multi-day TV project. And he is right in that area in Denton, Texas. And we passed through the Denton, Texas area. Beautiful area. And yeah, really cool. Lots of comments built up. Great, gang. Good to see everybody and all the enthusiasm. Why don't you put your hands together, gang, and join me in welcoming a very special guest, David Seering, coming to us from Denton, Texas, right there by his piano. David, welcome to the Jim Masters Show. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Jim. It's great to be with all your lovedies out there all over the world. I think how that came about is so special, how they embraced that for you. So I know you're pretty proud of that.
We are. I tell you, it was just a slip of the tongue that became broadcast magic. So many people just really, gravitated to it when I said light, love, levity, and I said the too fast, and I said levity. And it's so apropos for the show and for the feeling that we have with all the fun and entertainment and poignant moments. Speaking of poignant moments, you've been doing this for a long time. We'll talk about The Vow and this beautiful piece of art that you've created. But let's go back in time and rewind sort of the memory vault a little bit. When you were growing up, did you have a lot of inspiration? Was there a lot of music around? What were the sources of inspiration? Who were some of the people that, turned you on to music early on, David?
Well, it first begins with my parents.
Yeah.
My mother was a big band singer back in the 40s up in the Midwest. In fact, I remember she would get phone calls when a band was coming through and they needed a female singer. They would call my mother Rita, and my dad was actually a elementary education music teacher. So that's really, the music's been in my life, my household, within my family all my life. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's incredible. So what were some of the music that you were listening to that you were first exposed to, David, early on?
Well, the early stuff that I was exposed to, of course, was listening to jazz records that my dad would play, and church music, because my mother and father were part of the Catholic church choir. In fact, Dad was the choir director, and Mother sang in the choir. So that was a big part of it. I would go to the rehearsals. I'd go to church, and that's another funny story how it actually happened that they discovered that I had musical talent. I started playing piano when I was 3, and I'm happy to say, as of September 10th of this year, that would have been 60 years of me playing the piano. So
wow.
It just so happened.
So are those fingers now insured by the Lloyds of London for $1 million?
Well, at one point they were, but they're not right now. But yeah, it's really kind of a fun story, because I started just playing piano at 3. I hear something on the radio, on the TV, and I go play it.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because Billy Joel was the same way. When you hear his story,
right.
He never took a lesson. I never took a lesson. He never took a voice lesson. I never took a voice lesson. But when we would go to church on Sunday morning at the Catholic Church, I'm one of 10 kids. So we took the first pew, and we all sat. My mom and dad were in the choir. Well, I'm not just a piano player singer. I like to do a little entertaining, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So I would mock the priest when he was up there doing all the stuff with the hosts and the chalice and all this. I would do the same thing he was doing. And it was very entertaining for some folks in the congregation. But old Father Rank didn't think it was that funny. So he went to my parents and said, look, you got 2 choices here. You can either take the kid, he used to call me the kid. You can take the kid and put him in the choir loft with you during service, or you can find another church to go worship at.
Ooh, yeah. He meant business.
He was your traditional Roman Catholic priest. I mean, that the iron fist and that all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they put me in the choir loft, and at the time they were still singing the Latin Mass. And I picked it up, my ear picked it up, and within no time, I was singing the whole complete Latin Mass.
Wow.
All 4 parts by heart, by memory, no music. And my father kind of...
Not that you want to break into any of that right now.
Yeah. No. Well, Ecum Spiri 220, that's all the Latin I know. And
right.
Of course, that's God's phone number in Catholic.
That's right.
But... Anyway, my father went to my mother and he said, "Our son has a gift, and I think we need to figure out what to do with it." So from then on, it was just doing music, playing music. Never studied piano or voice, but I did learn how to read music because my dad taught me how to play trumpet when I was 6 years old. So that's how I learned how to read notes and chords.
How many instruments do you play?
Well, I play piano, I play the trumpet, I play the French horn, I play the baritone. I used to play the violin, but I can't anymore because of carpal tunnel. And
that was the one I studied as a kid. Was in like 7th grade. It was violin first. Yeah.
Then
did you enjoy it?
The violin?
Yeah. It's a tough one to master.
I liked the violin. I really did. I thought it's a beautiful instrument. And there again, there's an instrument you can put in the back of your car.
Right, portable.
Go anywhere with it, like a guitar or have you. But I really enjoyed playing the French horn. I really love the French horn. Still do. It's
a great sound.
But these days, I just stick to the piano and I'll play a little trumpet now and then when I do my Louis Armstrong imitation. Want to hear some of that?
Yes. Let's hear that.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I watch the bloom grow for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Anyway, my dad taught me how to do that when he.
That's incredible. I mean, you sound just like him. If you close your eyes, you'd think you're listening to him.
And I've had people come up to me in a show and said, "You were lip syncing that." I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "There's no way you sound like it." I said, "Okay, what's your name?" "My name's Jim Masters." "Okay." I see trees of green, red roses too. I watch them bloom for Jim Masters and you. I put their name in the song and they go, "Wow."
That's cool. Yeah. That is amazing, huh? Yeah. That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. And I started picking up, then I started picking up other voices as I was growing up, like, why are there so many songs about rainbows? Rainbows have nothing to hide. A little Kermit the Frog, and then I would do a little Elvis, and then I would do Neil Diamond and Elton John. So it became.
I know they would love if they heard Elvis.
Oh, would they really?
Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh! Let's see. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Oh, let's see. Oh no! Which one do I do, honey? She's in there watching me. She's laughing her butt off.
Hound Dog or.
I sing this to people who golfers, okay? I'm caught in a trap. I can get out because I love you so much, baby. Why can't you see what should have known me? You won't believe the words I say. Elvis Presley, I'm a little hoarse because I've been singing all day. So
maybe a tad of Elton John if you could slip him in.
Oh my God!
See, in honor of Queen Elizabeth and all.
He packed my face, this night we fly. You about 90 hills, and I'm gonna be high home. It's a cotton. I miss the girls so much, I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space. On such a timeless flight, girl. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time to touchdown, bring me right up in the fire. I'm not the man sitting there, no. I'm a rockin' man, turning out of shoes to feel alone. Right, a little Elton John.
Very cool. And you've got the facial expressions down and the whole bit.
Yeah,
Because
it's
he
just
gets
yeah,
into it.
yeah.
And one of
It
his eyebrows goes up sometimes. And
comes with the territory, I guess.
just the whole
I used to wear the glasses, but I don't have them with me, Richard.
So I got a good question here coming in from one of our lovely viewers. Merlin in Canada asks, so which singer is your wife married to then? Is she married to all
you
of
know
them?
what?
I tell you.
Who that was Marilyn from Canada?
Merlin in Canada, yeah,
Marilyn
Ontario.
from Canada. I asked my wife one time who her favorite singer was, and you're not going to believe who she said.
Who'd she say?
Michael Bublé.
Michael Bublé. So have you had to learn that one, or?
Well, but it's not. It's yeah. There are some of his songs, but Michael Bublé is just another Frank Sinatra, if you think about it, or the Rat.
Yeah,
and that's what he does, and I love it. We actually got to go to one of his concerts in Orlando several years ago, and we sat right next to his grandfather, so it was quite an exciting evening. I think that's why she said Michael Bublé, but
Michael Bublé.
I think really deep down in her heart, she likes. I think she likes Elton John better. So.
You've had an opportunity too to open for, perform with a lot of incredible names. Tell us about some of the opportunities that have come your way.
Well, for 38 years, my hometown being Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Green Bay, yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
It really is a neat place. I mean,
you guys love your Packers. I tell you, I was on a TV shoot in Wisconsin, and they're just so loyal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are very loyal too. I mean, the history is, we're part of the original NFL.
And you're like, you own the team too, or
well, we do. In fact,
yeah.
Up on my wall, right behind me, if you can see that right there, that is an original piece of stock of the Green Bay Packers. One of only 33,000 original pieces of stock. And that gives me the opportunity as an original 33,000 stock owner to vote on a lot of the decisions that are made through the team. So that was given to me from a dear friend at a golf tournament when we celebrated the passing of Ray Nitschke, who was a very dear friend of mine. Jackie and Ray, very close. But anyway, we take our football seriously, and we have the right to do that because we are part of the original NFL, and we take pride in it. I mean, we really do. So
yeah. Good beer and good cheese in Milwaukee. We were in that area. We're in Milwaukee and Waukesha and through that area there.
Yeah. And Green Bay, you know what else Green Bay is famous for? It's the world capital of toilet paper.
It is? So you're telling me during the pandemic, that's where it was? If we had just flown there, we could have got some?
I don't know. They couldn't. No, they couldn't get it out. That was the problem. But yeah, it's the world capital of paper of toilet paper. So which
or if you're on the other side
has
of the
to
tracks,
use it.
it's
So,
toilet tissue. That is funny. That is funny.
And the thing is too, Jim, you either love Packer fans or you hate them. So, but we love all of our teams that come visit us, especially the Central Division, and it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun.
Speaking of good fun, you opened for Phyllis Diller?
Yeah, right here in Destin.
One of my favorites. I miss her.
Let me tell you what. When I first met her, she was, and Phyllis is Phyllis
with the hair and she was amazing.
What you see is what you get.
That was Phyllis.
Phyllis was Phyllis. There was no deviation. That when you saw her on camera or off camera, Phyllis was Phyllis. She was a gracious woman. So I opened for her.
Did she bring Fang or?
Well, no. Well, Fang was part of the deal,
Part of the shtick, yeah.
Right, but she would introduce me as the master of the piano with the golden voice, who's played for presidents and kings and queens and all these names that only a few I have played for. But she would introduce me, and then afterwards we always had the after party, which most people have. And did you know, or most people don't know, she was an accomplished concert pianist.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
we would go to her suite afterwards at the hotel, and they had a piano there. She had a piano, and we'd sit down and play duets together. And
Mm.
then she would go, "I'd like to play," and she would go into a classical piece, and it was like,
Yeah.
you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And one of her dearest friends was Van Cliburn, if you know that,
Oh,
because
sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. Now, speaking, you mentioned presidents. You played for President Ronald Reagan, right?
I did, I did.
Which was one of the highlights, something that's near and dear to you.
It's probably one of the biggest highlights of my career. I was invited to play for him in Atlanta
Mm.
after he was out of office and was touring the country to raise money for the Reagan Library.
Reagan,
So
yeah.
I was invited. Bill Graves was the gentleman who lived there, and it was at his home. And they asked me to come play, and I did. And how it all happened is quite surreal. So I show up early because Secret Service had to check me out, and they had to check out my equipment. Well, while I'm setting things up, there's a lady there, and she comes up to me and says, "I'm Nancy Reagan's personal assistant." I said, "Nice to meet you." She said, "Tonight is the president's 80th birthday.
Mm.
And Mrs. Reagan has asked me to ask you if you would accompany her on the piano singing while she sings the president's favorite song, which was 'I Had to Be You.'" I said, "Absolutely." So the night goes on, and here I am playing the piano in this absolutely gorgeous living room of this mansion in Buckhead in Atlanta. And here they come. They arrive. And my back is to this door that leads to the kitchen. And they announce, "Ladies and gentlemen, the president and Mrs. Reagan," and they walk through this door. I'm facing out. I can't see anything behind me. And the next thing I know, I feel these two hands on my shoulders. And I kind of turn around, and it's President Reagan with his hands resting on my shoulders as I'm sitting at the piano. And I'm thinking to myself, you better not make one move because you might get it. Anyway, Nancy takes the microphone. I said, "You ready, Mrs. Reagan?" She said, so she sings the song. It was wonderful, just a wonderful thing. And after that, the president takes the microphone and thanks everybody and hopes that they can build a library that meets the standards of what they think they should have been or should be. Then he left and he went into the kitchen area and was greeting guests. Well, I continued to play the party. And about 45 minutes later, the Secret Service man comes up to me and says, "Excuse me, sir, but the president of the United States would like to see you." I said, "Me?" He said, "Yeah, he'd like to talk to you." "Me?" "Yeah, yeah." So I get up. He escorts me back to the kitchen. And in the back, there was this little breakfast nook. And there's Ronald Reagan sitting at the table, greeting people and signing autographs and talking. Well, I'm there, and he sees me. He says, "Oh, sit down, sit down." So I sit down, and I introduce myself to him. And he proceeds for the next 20 minutes to talk to me and ask me questions about me, my family,
Wow.
my life. And it was just an amazing conversation.
Showing real interest in you. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it was almost like kind of having this conversation with you, nothing to it. And when I told him I was from Green Bay, he says, "Oh, Vince Lombardi and I were good friends." I said, "Well, my dad worked for Vince Lombardi. He was the assistant conductor of the Packer band when Coach was there." So we talked, and it was time for me to get up. And I said, "Mr. President, I just want you to know one thing." I said, "I served in the United States Army band here in Atlanta for 6 years, and you were my commander in chief. I said, I just want to thank you for being my commander in chief." I said, "I'll never forget the day when you took office and the hostages were released from Iran. And we were driving down the street, 3 other buddies after lunch, and they played the national anthem on the radio. All over the country, they played that national anthem. We stopped the car in the middle of the interstate, I-75, and got out and saluted the radio. And I told him this story.
Yeah.
The president stood up and he went like this.
To you.
to me, thank you for your service, soldier. And I have to tell you, Jim, I still get goosebumps. I still get tears in my eyes of that day, because I was in the presence of one of the greatest leaders, motivators, human beings that's ever graced this earth. And I'm just, it just was something I'll never forget.
Special moment and an opportunity that came, that you didn't even, realize it would get to that extent.
No.
But something that, you take with you for the rest of your life. You also had opportunities to work with Mickey Gilley too, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, Mickey. When being from Green Bay, there's a organization called Cerebral Palsy of Northeast Wisconsin, and through the years of them doing that, they have a telethon every year to raise money, live telethon, and all the money stayed in Green Bay for that particular cerebral palsy center. Well, they would invite a lot of different stars that would come in, and I was one of the hosts. I was the MC of the telethon, along with a good friend of mine, Dan Riley. So we got to work with a lot of different, and Mickey was one of them. In fact, he came back 2 years in a row, and then I did get to open for him in Dallas at one of his shows, which was, when he called me, he says, "I need you to open for me." I said, "Well, Mickey, I'm not country." He says, "That's what I want. I don't want country." But it was exciting, and of course, we just lost him. And what a great guy. I mean, you think about what he accomplished, and who his two cousins are, don't you?
Is one of them Jerry Lee Lewis, and then the other one Jimmy Swaggart?
Jimmy Swaggart, that's right. Yes. So a friend of mine actually has a script we're waiting on called Cousins, and it's the story of those three cousins. We're waiting for Jerry Lee will not sign off on it. He has tried. My buddy Roger Harrison, who remember The Chosen, the movie The Chosen about with Robbie Benson. He produced
Robbie
that movie.
Benson, yeah.
And so we've been waiting for years because he won't sign off on it. Well, now
how come? Does he say why?
Well, Mickey signed off, Jimmy signed off, but for some reason Jerry Lee just doesn't want. And it's a great movie. It's a great script, and it tells the story of the three of them growing up in Fairty, Louisiana, and their life. So anyway. It was great working with Mickey. I worked with BJ Thomas. BJ was another great one. Helen Reddy, I worked with her.
Oh, Helen Reddy, yes. I had an opportunity to meet her.
Talk about talent.
She was something else, huh?
Yeah. Robert Goulet. We kept in touch through the years while he was performing. And with
his dulcet tones,
Oh, just incredible. So, I've been very fortunate to have worked with several great performers and entertainers, and every single one of them was just as gracious as they could be, and to see that from someone, I'm just a local guy or coming back, but they treated me with a lot of dignity and a lot of respect, and I really appreciate that.
That's really, really cool. Have you had a chance to travel beyond the coast to coast to other parts around the world as well through your work?
Well, not really with my work. There's one story I have to share with you because we were on a trip to Croatia, and we ended up in Dubrovnik. And if you've never been to Dubrovnik, put it on your bucket list. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world. All of Croatia is gorgeous. Anyway,
Uniclaire is saying hello from the Philippines.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah.
Hello.
Jane is saying hello from Sweden. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Sherry says hello from Kansas. Yeah. They're all here.
That's very nice. It's very, very
all around the world.
Heartwarming. Thank you very much. So we were in Dubrovnik, and a friend that I was with said, "We got to find you a piano to play." I said, "I don't know." He says, "No, we'll go." So we found this little cafe, and the piano's outside, and it's in the courtyard. And the owner said, we don't start until after 10 o'clock because the cathedral, which was right across the way, has service until 10 o'clock. I said, that's fine. So we went and had dinner. 10 o'clock comes, and about 10:45, he introduces me to the crowd. He says, we have a gentleman here from America who plays piano. I heard a little bit of him this afternoon. I think you're going to like him. Now, there was a drummer, a bass player, a sax player, and another piano player. And I'm supposed to play with these guys. And not one of them spoke English. And I'm going, how is this going to work? So the first song, I just didn't know what to do. So I went, O sole mio, stamandere, O sole mio, salvadere. So I started playing that. Well, the guys picked it up right away. I mean, music is the international language. And
Yes,
that's what it means.
is.
You can
Yes.
go anywhere and you have a musician that has an ear. You start playing, they pick it up. So when we got done, I went, it's now or never, amor mi time. By the end of the night, Jim, I played for about an hour and 30 minutes, hour and a half. There were like 5,000 people gathered around this little cafe all over the piazza listening to what we were doing. It was unbelievable.
Is that incredible when that happens?
Unbelievable. And for me to be able to show up on another part of the world without knowing anybody and to sit down and play my piano and sing and have these four musicians follow me, it just goes to show that music is the international language and what it can do to people.
It's a great unifier and healer too, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think music, if we could solve all the problems we have in the world today through music, we could have it done by tomorrow night, midnight. Easily.
Right. I agree. Yes.
Yeah. And I think people take it for granted what music really is.
Yeah.
It's amazing stuff. Amazing stuff.
It really is. Absolutely. And people, during the craziness of the last couple of years have been really relying on that and
oh yeah,
nostalgic TV shows and old movies and comedy and other things to sort of get through the craziness of life. And that's, how do you describe your music, your style, David?
Well, my style comes from my heart, and it's a unique style because I create what I create from what I hear in my head. So, for instance, if I play just a song like this, it's just coming from my head. I haven't written that down. It just happens.
It's you're the conduit, the facilitator is flowing through you.
And in my brain, in the back of my head, I'm hearing full accompaniment from an orchestra.
Yeah.
That it's a very weird thing. I've heard other people describe that.
It's a gift.
Well, it is. It's a gift, and it's a gift from God. I know where it comes from. You can't go to Walmart and buy this.
No, this is not something.
Okay. You can listen to. You can try to learn it on the internet as much as you want, but this is totally different. This is a gift from God, and I know that. So
yeah.
Take it very seriously.
Tell us about this incredible. Well, before that, how long have you been songwriting? And do you have a preference? Do you love singing, being the musician, being the songwriter, or do you love it all equally? Is there one that stands out more for you?
I love performing. I love performing for a crowd of 5 or 5,000. I mean, because I think that's what I do best. That's what and I feel more comfortable performing. I do write a lot of songs. I write a lot of songs that don't even have words. I write, music songs.
Instrumental,
Instrumentals, yeah. And I do like writing instrumentals. Words to me are hard to come by unless it's got a real deep meaning, in which you're going to hear with the vow. But I've always compared myself to the Elton John, Bernie Taupin deal. I'm the Elton John. I just never found the Bernie Taupin, because if there wasn't Bernie Taupin, there wouldn't be an Elton John. You know, he
Right.
wrote the lyrics, Elton wrote
Wrote
the
all
word, or the music, I should say. So, but I love entertaining people. I love performing. It brings the best of me out, without a doubt.
Which is incredible, right? It flows through you and out of you, and then everybody
Yeah.
else gets to experience it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
This song here that you've penned and so beautifully presents the vow. I mentioned a little bit in the introduction about the special nature of the song and some of the meaning, but tell us about it. What, the initial inspiration, of course, and what it means to you.
Well, the initial inspiration was, had to deal with my wife with the Parkinson's, and she was diagnosed 14 years ago, so we've lived with it together for a long time, and it was a matter of coping and understanding and getting through life as easy as you can with it. I will be honest with you that sometimes I'm not the greatest person, and I'll admit that. But when those times come and I feel disgruntled or I can't do this anymore, this song became my cry. And it all started last December when Lori decided to go visit her mom and her family out in Fullerton, California. She was born in Fullerton, and her mother is in a assisted living there in Fullerton, and doing great at 92 years old. And
God bless her.
I at times I think she's doing better than I am, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's like her assisted living is like a cruise ship on land. They got everything they would do. Anyway, she went to visit and she came back, and I said, "How was your trip?" And she said, "We're moving to California." Now, at the time, we were living in Destin, Florida, Miramar Beach, which is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And I said, "Okay, why?" And she said, "Well, I want to spend as much time as I can with my mom for as many years she has left. And I really want to spend time with my friends and my family with, my situation." And, it comes to a time when people are in need, and you just don't say no anymore. You say yes. So I said, "Okay, let's go." So next couple of days, I put the house on the market, and we're starting to find, people interested in the house. Of course, back a couple of months ago, the housing market was just perfect for it. Well, Lori came to me and she said, "I'd like to go a little early." I said, "Okay." So we packed her up, her clothes and stuff, and we shipped her off to California. And while I stayed back and finished packing up the house and finishing my commitments that I had, well, while she was there staying at a family home, I got a phone call, and the phone call was from one of her family members saying, "I need to come get my wife out of their house because it was making him nervous having her around while she was shaking. He wasn't comfortable." Which took us both by surprise, if you can imagine.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
This is family, okay? Well, long story short, I got her out of there. She went to San Diego to visit a friend of hers, and then I find out she wants to go to Allen, Texas, because a friend of hers that she grew up with on the same street was living in Allen. So she was going to go visit her. Fine. Put her on an airplane. She gets to Allen. A couple of weeks later, I find out that her old college roommate lives in Denton. At this beautiful place called Robeson Ranch. And it's really a lovely community for 55 plus and such. Anyway, long story short, she wants to live in Denton. That's fine. Well, all during this time, people were asking me, "Why are you moving to California? People are leaving California. Why are you going?" And I would say, "Well, my wife's health and she wants to be with her family." But that kept going on and on and on and on. Finally, I got tired of telling them, and I finally came up with, here's how I'm going to tell people. For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and health, till death do us part. After I said that, they stopped asking questions because I think they understood. Well, Lori called me one night, very, very upset and not, wondering what's going on. And at that particular moment, I was in my office packing up my books and stuff. And the next book I grabbed after she hung up was our wedding album. And I sat down and I looked through our wedding album from 20 years ago in Destin, Florida, on the beach. Just a beautiful, beautiful wedding. And I started getting very emotional. And all I could say was, for better, for worse, richer, for poor, in sickness and health, till death do us part, over and over and over, looking at these wonderful pictures. And I heard a voice in my head say, David, go to your piano and write a song about the wedding vows.
That's incredible.
I went to this very piano I'm sitting at, and 40 minutes later, I wrote this song about our wedding day and remembering it and where we are.
That's incredible. That's another gift. You were, again, the energy was sort of flowing through you, inspired you. And how long did it take to write the song?
40 minutes.
40 minutes to write a complete song. That's amazing. That's extraordinary. And was it flowing as you were writing?
It just kept coming. It was almost as someone was feeding me the words. I mean, literally, somebody was feeding me these words, and I was able to put it to the music. And what's funny, Jim, is that, I'm not a big country performer, country music, but for some reason this song came out country. And now in retrospect, when you look at it where it is today and being played on country music radio across the country, it's that demographic that really grabs on to songs like this, love songs, story songs, because that's what country music is. They're songs that are stories.
Yes.
This is a true living story. This song, true living story.
Would you like to share it with our audience here watching around the world, my friend? We have some video too, which is the actual official lyric video, but we'll have you do it live for us here, which would be really fantastic.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Here is David Seering with The Vow. Listen closely, folks. It is really a beautiful song with such great meaning. And he's performing it live exclusively here on the Jim Masters Show for us, which we are very, very happy about. David, it's all yours.
Thank you. I woke up this morning with a smile on my face, knowing this day will be blessed with His grace. When I see you walking down that aisle, my tears will be flowing, even though I smile. I waited so long for this day to come, when we would be wedded and then become one. I want you to know what I'm about to say. These words are forever until my dying day. For better or worse, richer or poor, in sickness and health, it is you I'll adore. I give you my promise from this very start. I'm gonna cherish you forever till death do us part. He blessed us both with this beautiful day, with family and friends, some came a long way. As God is my witness, I give you this ring. Together forever, all the angels will sing. For better or worse, rich or poor, sickness and health, it is you I'll adore. I give you my promise from this very start. I'm gonna cherish you forever, till death do us part. And when that day comes and you need my care, I'll remember what I said on that day that we shared. My love was forever from that very start. Till God takes us home, to death do us part. Better or worse, richer or poor, in sickness and health, it is you I adore. I give you my promise from this very start. I'm gonna cherish you forever. I'm gonna cherish you forever. I'm gonna cherish you forever. Till death do us part.
That's incredible, my friend.
Wow.
That is really something.
Thank
That
you.
is what happens to you when you perform that. Because you could tell you're all in. You're all in.
You can see that, Jim. I mean, it's a true testimony and testament to my wife and how I feel about her.
What
I
was
adore
her
her.
reaction when she first heard it?
Well, for years, she always would say to me, how come you never wrote a song about me? And I could never answer that question. I don't know why. But now it needed to be in its time. And I think her reaction was just, I still think it is what it is today. She loves it. And I hope she does. And I can see why.
What came first for you, the lyrics or the melody?
It basically all came together. It just came in. Yeah. It
Both
just came to
together at the same time, which is
yeah, yeah,
rare.
yeah.
Wow.
It really is rare because most people say they write the music first or they write the words first. They put it, but this all blended together in that 40 minutes that I was at this piano. And Jim, I mean, I can't answer. I know where it came from, but I was just the vessel to get it out. I was
That's
just the
right.
vessel. Yep.
So the reaction, the public reaction, the reaction to those who are hearing it and being touched by it. What's that been like for you, David? Must be extraordinary.
Well, it's been. I'd like to give, somehow you wonder in your life, what is my purpose? What am I doing?
Oh yeah.
Do I have to
Well,
wait until I meet my maker to find out if I did the right thing or whatever? But
the last couple of years, David, a lot of people have been asking that question
yeah,
during this great
yeah,
pause
yeah,
about their lives and going forward. What do
yeah,
I want to do? Where
yeah.
have I been? What do I want to do next chapter?
Well, I think in retrospect, I'm hoping that this becomes the next wedding song that every girl wants sung at her wedding, and it's a gift to them. It's also a gift to those, Jim, to the caregivers. And as you notice, when I in the bridge, and when the day comes when you need my care, I think some of the most unsung heroes in our society, in our life today, are the caregivers who take care of people who have cancer, who have Alzheimer's, who have Parkinson's, who have dementia. Anything where you're a
Car
caretaker,
accident or anything happens.
anything,
Yeah.
anything, Jim. I mean, and it goes to the nurses and to the doctors and all those nurses who gave their 100,000% during the pandemic. And,
Yeah.
and and here again, they didn't run away; they ran too.
They run towards
it
it.
has a lot to do with anybody who runs to and not run away. And so if I can have that as part of my legacy or whatever, you know, great. That's why he put me on this earth, for that one single thing or that one song, you know.
I mean, where does this song rank in of all the material you've had an opportunity to create and or interpret? This has to be right there.
Well, it is. I mean, I'm in the midst of writing a ballet for a friend of mine back home who has a
Are
ballet.
you really?
Oh yeah, I'm writing the music for the ballet,
Wow.
12 different songs, and but this probably is it is the best thing I ever created. I know it is, and I take no credit for it, Jim. I really don't. It was given to me by another being, and I know it was God. I know God gave this to me to share with the world, and I hope that I can. I really do.
Where can people get it? Is it on the website? We have your website address, but where
Yeah,
else? Is Amazon, Spotify, iTunes,
it's on
all the major
all the
platforms?
major platforms. It's actually Searing Songs. Is it .net? It might be. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Dot
more
net.
than I do when it comes to this stuff.
Hearingsongs.net. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
but it's on. It's all over. So if you want to download it, and I give the proceeds are going to go toward Parkinson's research.
Oh, really? That's
That's where
beautiful.
it needs to do that. So,
You know,
and
I've interviewed a lot of people in my professional work too who are caregivers. And a lot of times caregivers are thrust into becoming a caregiver sometimes quickly through a diagnosis or something that happens. And it
right.
wasn't something necessarily they were preparing for, but now that is the task at hand and the role that they're playing. And like you say, they are the unsung heroes on many levels because a lot of times, the caregivers forget to take care of themselves. Eating, sleeping, dreams that they have are paused while they're caring for the person that they care about. And oftentimes, then they need care themselves. They need to be reminded to take care of themselves. And because there's a lot of physical and mental and financial burden to all of caregiving. And
Mhm.
sometimes people forget about that. And I've met so many where if the caregiver isn't tended to, a caregiver can go even before the person they're caring for.
True.
I've heard many
That's true.
stats. Yeah. So it's really, but it's a beautiful thing to be the person doing it on so many levels.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been battling. I don't know if battle is the right word, but we've been dealing with this for 14 years. And I will tell you that her father had it. I met her dad for the first time, had been recently diagnosed, and but I will tell you something. I watched Lori's mother take care of her dad, and I had a great teacher in that. I watched her. I watched her and how she gave, and she was there every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, up until the end. And she was my training facility, and I've thanked her for it. I have. I said, I don't think I could have done this without her.
Yeah.
Watching her take care of Lori's dad. So yeah, you don't go to school for stuff like this, but you either do it or you don't. And when it comes down to it, and not just this, but when it comes down to a marriage, whether or not you think you need to stay together or break up, it comes down to, for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and health, till death do us part. That's what it comes down to.
That's exactly right. Beautifully said. It really, you're writing a book too. You were telling me you're writing a book.
Yeah, I'm writing a book. I've pretty
Congratulations.
much. Oh, I've got some. The name of it's the keys to my success, with the piano keys rolling across the cover, And it's stories from an unknown saloon singer, because basically I sang in a lot of clubs, a lot of bars, but I've got some wonderful stories that, by virtue of just being a piano player, like the Ronald Reagan story, uh, that I have been able to be part of, and now to share with people. And it's a great lesson. In the lesson is in tenacity. You know, my dad always said, if you're going to be a musician and you want to be an entertainer and you're going to do this the rest of your life, you got to stay in line. Don't get, because if you get out of line, everything you accomplished, you got to go in the back of the line and try to regain it.
And regain it,
Always,
right?
Yeah, I've always, it was great advice from my dad. So, but yeah, it's been a remarkable life. But the book's going to be fun. You'll love some of the stories in there. Are just fabulous.
Is there a movie?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that, because Lori has a really good friend who's a filmmaker in Scottsdale, and I mentioned it to her, and when she heard the song, she said, "This does have a movie in it," and it's just not right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I think all of this has to play out between her and me, but I see the song as a basis of a movie. I really do. Yeah.
That's incredible. That really is. You know, it sounds like you've got a lot of blessings and joys that are in your life that you're very aware of, and you cherish them every single day, and they mean more and more, and you share that energy with the world, which I think, you know, this is something that you could have both of you could have elected to just keep private, but I think by sharing the story and the music, it is so uplifting and empowering and inspiring to others who are going through various things in their lives. Doesn't necessarily have to be Parkinson's. It could be anything that they're going through in their lives. And there's a lot of people, all of us, you know, no matter how good we look on one day, there's always something else we're dealing with, even if it's just a flat tire, whatever it is, there's things that we go through. On a song like this, you know, the vow also to be a kind person, to be an empathetic person, to be respectful, to be good to others and look out for one another. You know, you make this vow just being a human on the planet in a way too. So the song has a lot of different things to it. It ties to the marriage and the love between the two of you, but also the vows we make just to be good people in everyday life, right? And because it seems like we've been going away from some of that lately, the lack of empathy and kindness and all the stuff people keep saying we're lacking lately.
Yeah, and it really shows that, you know, especially what we've been through the last several years with the pandemic and people trying to cope. I mean, I wonder how many people listening to me now or whenever, do you ever sit back and look back at the last 2 years and say to yourself, how did I do this? How did we do this? I mean, we were completely shut down as a society. How did we get through this? And for me, it was faith. I had faith that we were going to get through it. Okay. And good things come out of bad things. Right. They really do.
Yeah.
And I take this song as one of them. It's a good song because people of all walks of life, whatever skin color you are, whatever religion you are, whatever political party you are, it doesn't matter, because music is the international language, and this song can touch anybody.
Right.
Anybody.
Right. Yeah. And it has this evening, my friend, on many levels, as we knew. That's why I like to do, you know, the shows live when we're able to. Maureen, who is a nurse in Arizona, who went through the pandemic, she's supposed to be retired, but she's taken on more work. I am honestly humbled to even be listening to this conversation. Thank you, David, for bearing your soul and sharing your beautiful love story. From Merlin in Canada and Ontario, who commented earlier, she dealt with her husband who had ALS, who's
God
no
bless.
longer with us.
God bless
Uh,
you.
yeah.
God
And
bless you, Marilyn.
Terry Ann 58 says, David, what a blessing. She does believe God has given you the inspiration to write the vow. I do think the song will be played in many weddings, funerals, just about everything.
Oh,
Terry
yeah.
Ann, thank you for those beautiful words.
Thank you, Terry Ann.
Sherry Larson in Kansas, USA says, amen. Maureen also adds, you're such an honorable man, David. What a lucky girl your wife is to know such an unconditional love that will last through eternity. Jane in Sweden, hearts and claps coming in. Terry Ann also added, absolutely beautiful song. I've got chill bumps, can feel God's love and your love for your wife. Jane, beautiful song and video from Sweden. Sherry says, wowza, took my breath away. It is beautiful. Kathleen in New York City, beautiful. Merlin says, thanks for making me cry. A beautiful song. Maureen says, holy cow, or holy wow. My eyes are leaking. That was just so incredibly beautiful. And the perfect video as well, which we showed. Toby in Encino, California, very heartfelt and lovely. Just some of the folks, Kathleen in New York, thank you for sharing your life with us, David. You are just wonderful.
Thank you.
You need a Kleenex, my friend?
Well, yeah.
If I had one, I would bring it through the screen.
I'm going to need several because, you know, sometimes, Jim, you just never know who you touch. And when you can see it and read it's very special. I thank you for that, for allowing me to be part. Thank you so much.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. That's the kind of vibe that I wanted this series to be. You know, having worked all these years in television and radio, I wanted something that was fun, light, but also can go deep, poignant, you know, just something that really leaves people with something, not just a quick interview and we're in and out, something that no matter what we're doing on every episode of the show, like this fabulous one with you, David, people are left feeling good about themselves. Hey, that was fun. That was entertaining. That was humorous. That was deep, whatever it is, with the variety, like the old school talk shows, the Cavitt's, the Carsons, all the rest. That's
and Jim, I will say you are quite the pro at what you do. You're very, very good at, and I can see why you've been a success as an interviewer. I've had two great, I think, are two of the greatest interviewers in the history of interviewing. Of course, my number one is Johnny Carson. You will never be another Johnny. And believe it or not, I think Howard Stern is an incredible interviewer when he interviews his guests. You know, you can say a lot of things about Howard. When he gets his guests in there, he digs deep, and he's just wonderful. And
he's done some shifting in recent years too, where he's really getting deeper about his approach. Yeah.
And I put you in the same. I put you on the same page as those two people. So thank you so much. You're wonderful.
Well, yes, my father has always said, and I appreciate that, he's always told us this since childhood. Whenever anybody says something kind or nice to you, Jim, ask them to please put it in writing and address it management.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's my Irish dad for you with his humor.
There you go.
We don't have a Kleenex, but maybe George Burns can lend his red pocket square there for you. Yeah, can you do George too?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's got his cigar.
That's lovely.
Isn't that cool? I always tell the story for new folks that my aunt collected dolls. So and he's the real serious collectible doll here. And when he hit a certain age, they had a limited supply and she made sure she got it with her other huge doll collection. Got passed down to me. My cousin Barbara said, hey, Jim, do you want the George Burns? Like, George Burns? Like, sure, absolutely. And so he's here and he makes an appearance on the show. And he said, you knocked it out of the park. He was truly touched. He felt the same way about his love for Gracie. He said, you got a winner of a song there, my friend, from George Burns, who played God in the movies.
Yes, he did.
You know,
he gave me the song to write. So thanks, George.
See, that's what it is. And also, You know who's with us too? I'll throw him in. Gilligan. You know, of course, Dream of
Oh
Denver,
my
right?
God.
Bob
Really?
Denver. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Dream of
Gilligan.
Denver was a guest on our show several times, and she's wonderful. And she sent this along. This is Bob Denver from Dream of Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
cool stuff, huh?
Yeah, it is cool. I got somebody here. Hold on. I got someone here who wants to say hello.
See, that's what happens. I
Yeah.
know this always triggers people to get up out of their chairs and
Oh
find
yeah.
something that they have that they want to show. This is cool. Only on the
Yeah.
Jim Masters show. Who do we have here?
This is
Ah,
Kermit the Frog, Jimmy. I want to thank you for having David on your show today.
that is
He's
so
my buddy.
cool. That is
Yeah.
cool. And my years with PBS, that is so perfect. And my favorite, you know, they say, Kermit, it's not easy being green, but
Well,
that's my favorite color. So you're all right with me, Kermit.
then why are you wearing red?
But look, we got the green light for you there. Look, there
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Well,
That's
I
for
love
you.
that. Thank
So
you very
how
much.
so
Thank you.
speaking of the vow, maybe we can get something here. You know, there's always been this relationship, Kermit, between you and Miss Piggy. Would you like to spout any vows live on the Jim Master Show exclusively for your love for Miss Piggy?
Well, I think after she hears this song, she might want to marry me.
Yes. And you'll have to think of a place to propose. Maybe we can have the two of you on the show and you can propose live on the Jim Master Show live. That would be
That
great,
would
huh?
be great. I
Yeah.
know it won't be at Red Lobster.
Not at all, but maybe on a lily pad in a pond somewhere, perhaps.
Okay. That'd be great.
Kathleen says, Kermit, she loves you. Sherry Larson says, Kermit, yeah. This is really cool. Are you, other than the Jim Master Show, and this is an exclusive, folks, we have Kermit the Frog on the Jim Master Show. Where are you going to get that? This is true entertainment. What have you been up to lately, Kermit?
Just hanging out in the backyard, waiting on fall. I love fall.
You love fall?
I love the trees.
Have you been taking care of the insects in the Searing's garden?
Well, they don't have much of a garden.
They don't have much of a garden.
Well,
Oh my God. That is funny. How are Bert and Ernie doing? I haven't heard from them in a while.
well, I haven't either. I think they're still hunkered down over the pandemic.
They're still hunkered down. That's funny. Are you making any other public appearances or was this your exclusive on our show, my friend?
This will be my exclusive because I might get in trouble if I keep doing this.
That's true. I think you're union, so you may cost a lot.
Exactly.
Well, Kermit, thanks
Okay.
for being with us. This was
Thank
really Kermit, before you go, George Burns just wants to say hello to you.
Hey,
There
George.
he is, huh? George, and look at this. George Burns, Kermit the Frog on the Jim Master Show live. You're not going to find anything else.
I don't think
like
that's
this.
ever been done before.
No, not George and Kermit, right? Unless George was on the Muppet Show or Sesame Street or something, right?
I'll have to look that up.
That is funny. Cool
Thank you.
stuff. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Kermit. There he
Oh.
goes.
Oh, he's a frog, so he hops.
That's right.
He hopped.
Yeah, he hops. A lot of fun. Kids love that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
it's so much
Do you
fun.
do that? I mean, do you do parties? Do you do things? Because you
Oh,
do all
yeah.
these. You
Oh
do all
yeah,
these
I'll take him with me. Especially I was working when I was working in the club circuit. I would play, the song, and the left hand I'd play the music, and the right hand I'd have Kermit, and it was like it was just. You know what shtick is, don't you, Jim?
Oh, sure.
Shtick works when it works, and that particular one it works. So
And that's a word you never want to mispronounce live on the air.
that's exactly right.
That is funny. This is cool. Terry Ann says Jim Masters is the best. He shows much love and compassion for others. Thank you, Terry Ann. I really appreciate those words, and just everybody with these fantastic comments coming in here. David, may God continue to bless you every day in every way. I'm sending you a tight, lovety hug.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
lovety.
Jim Master Show lovety. I tell you, it's a cool thing. Are your feet tingling? That's what most guests say when they're called a lovety on the show.
Well, I already have an idea in my head that I think the next song I write is going to be the Lovity song for the Jim Masters show.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. This is really cool stuff. So, searingsongs.net is the website. You can find The Vow again on Amazon, iTunes, Spotify. What else do you have coming up? Anything else that's coming up that you're excited about, David?
Well, right now we're just, we're doing all we can to promote the
To
song,
let them know about the song. Yeah.
doing interviews and
Yeah.
trying to, put all of our energy into there. There is talk from my agency. What we may do is we may take the song and then customize it to people who are getting married so they can play that for their first dance.
Wow.
So, for instance,
great idea.
If I would do the song, if Nancy was the bride, I would do. Let's see. Woke up this morning with a smile on my face, knowing this day Nancy will be blessed with His grace. When I see you, Nancy, walking down that aisle, my tears will be flowing even though I smile. So we'll customize the song for the bride, and then they can send us their videos, their pictures, and we'll do a custom video with that song with their name in it.
Very nice idea.
As a keepsake for them. So
that is a really nice idea.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Really cool.
Yeah.
Folks, again, support our friend David here. You can get it on Amazon and Spotify and iTunes. And of course, check out his fabulous website as well. This was really, really fantastic, David. You got a lot of cool things happening. You've worked with some of the best. You are one of the best. And this was a real pleasure. And I hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you, and the show met whatever expectations that you had.
Well, Jim, it's been one of the best hour and 17 minutes I've ever spent in my life with you and your guests. And I really appreciate it. I mean that a lot, because you're helping me get this thing jump started. And it's a good way to do it with somebody like you.
I appreciate that, my friend. And it won't be the last time. As we always say, we keep the porch light on for the guests. So you are always welcome back. And if I'm back in that Dallas area again on a TV shoot or something, I will look you up and we'll grab a bite.
Are you a golfer?
I like to golf. Yes, too.
Then you will come to, we will play golf while you're here.
Fantastic. Will I get a chance to see Kermit too?
Kermit will be at dinner. Yes. But we won't be serving frog legs that night. So.
That's right. No frog legs.
No frog legs.
Merlin says, love this conversation. Merlin watching in Canada. Oh, terrific. Maureen just did the download on iTunes.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Maureen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jane, and everybody here. And good stuff. This was fantastic. Spread the word about the Jim Masters Show live series. If you know other folks you think would like to pop on, it takes a village. We're all here. This will be archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. So folks can share the link from our YouTube channel, and folks can see it again. And wishing you nothing but continued blessing and joy in your life, for you and your wife and your family and loved ones. And I think you've got something really, really beautiful here that's going to touch many, many people, as it has our audience, me as well. And you're welcome back anytime, David. This was a real pleasure.
Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
You are very, very welcome. You take care. And as I say to all the guests, now go stretch those legs.
That's right.
That's it. Get that circulation going again, my friend. Did you eat already? Did you already eat?
What's that?
Did you have dinner yet?
No, my wife was waiting for me, so we're going to have dinner together. So.
This is a food crowd. What are you going to have?
Tonight we're having, she's having salmon and I'm having pork chops. And I love to cook. I'm a big cook. All the years we've been married, she's cooked maybe 3 meals, and I cooked all the rest because.
What's your specialty?
I love to cook. What's that?
What's the David specialty?
I love cooking Italian.
Oh,
And
very
I
good.
love
Yeah.
cooking Italian short ribs. That's my favorite
Oh,
meal to cook.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
here, we'll have some short ribs.
Yeah. Melts in your mouth, falls
Oh,
off the
the best.
bone.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff. Now we're hungry.
Now we're hungry. That's
Get a
right.
snack going. I'm starving. David Seering, you're the best.
Thank you,
Again,
Jim.
continued success to you. Thanks for stopping by our show. It was a blessing, and we'll stay in touch and chat again real soon. Okay.
Great, Jim. God
You be
bless. Thank you so much.
you and your wife and everybody. You take care now. Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye.
David Seering entertaining us and also sharing a very poignant and moving story on the Jim Masters Show Live, and an epic career working with some of the greats in the industry. And actually, I've got one more story I got to get from you.
Oh,
The Sinatra thing with the microphone. I just thought about that. It was
yeah.
swirling in my mind earlier because you
Well,
did a tribute to Sinatra in song. Tell us about that
I
before you
did,
go.
but the story with the Sinatra microphone is I did a tribute to Johnny Mercer, and I was able to record that song at Capitol Records, and I used Tommy Newsom and the former Tonight Show band as my backup orchestra. But I was able to use Sinatra's podium and the microphone that he recorded on. So you talk about an honor, not only to be at Capitol Records where all those great artists perform, but to use the very podium and microphone that Sinatra used was just incredible.
Yeah, Tommy Newsom, the Tonight
Yeah,
Show band, the
yeah,
Sinatra microphone, Capitol Records. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's incredible. I said, oh, I've got to get that story in because it's such a cool one.
Yeah,
Good
it's
stuff.
an
Good
honor.
stuff. That was a little. We rehearsed this. That was an encore. We were going to
That was
save
not score, right?
save the best for last, like
Yeah,
Vanessa Williams sings in the
yeah.
song. Save the best for last. There you go.
As they call it in Louisiana, a little lagniappe,
Yes,
a little extra.
a
So,
little extra.
little extra.
Thanks, David. Enjoy that dinner, those pork
I will.
chops and the salmon, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, Jim. Thank you.
You're welcome. There you go. We had to get that Sinatra story in, and even the bonus. See, again, Tommy Newsom, of course, Doc Severinsen, Tommy Newsom, The Tonight Show Orchestra, Johnny Carson, Capitol Records, singing on the microphone that Sinatra sang on. Really fantastic, singing incredible music. What time is dinner? He's probably right now. I'm sure his stomach is growling, and his wife's stomach is growling as well. Dinner for me is going to be right after the show. We haven't eaten yet today, and it's about 8:30, almost about 8:30 here. We're Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast, and hope everybody's doing well. Again, we send our love and all to and prayers to all in Florida. Now, if you're watching this 3 years from now, because we archive everything at Jim Masters TV, this will be past tense. But again, to Mary Bishop, one of our lovelies in Florida, she sent this about a year ago, Pine Island, Florida, which took a devastating hit with that. We showed this earlier at the top of the show. We were sending our heartfelt prayers to all in Florida and the Southeast, Carolinas and Georgia that got hit with, the epic flooding and the winds, and just Fort Myers, beautiful Fort Myers, Naples, and so many other areas, Sarasota, Pine Island, Sanibel Island, just leveled. And Mary lived in Pine Island, and everything just sort of washed away. They had to be evacuated. And she's a big fan of our show. She's active all the time, comments. She rarely misses an episode. She also comments on our YouTube channels. She's one of the first people with every episode we do to actually leave a comment on the YouTube channel on all the episodes. One of the first people, sometimes even before the show's wrapped up, she always leaves a comment. So we're thinking of her family and of her and anybody else, again, affected by the historic Hurricane Ian that passed through. And of course, in Cuba as well, there's been devastation in Cuba as well. So the whole swath of it, with the mug that was sent by Mary Bishop, which I use all the time. We just have a little strawberry flavored juice in there. You can have some dinner right now. But again, sending healing prayers to everybody who's been affected up and down the coast. All right, gang. And we say happy birthday, I believe, Juanita. I don't know if she's here watching live, but she'll probably watch this in the archives or you know, a lot of people watch things in the archives. Happy birthday to Juanita. It's her birthday. And as I mentioned, it is my nephew's birthday as well, nephew and godson's birthday. So happy birthday to my nephew, Dominic. And if it's anybody else's birthday, and yeah. So Jane, I know you're looking for the song. The song is on Amazon, iTunes, and Spotify. So check it out there, and you'll love it, and help support the guests on our show, and help support our show too. Do a super chat, super thanks, super emojis, super stickers. That helps us too be able to do what we do, all this content that we deliver day in and day out. It was just extraordinary. I believe tomorrow is our 800th show, I believe. Isn't that amazing? 799 shows as of tonight in 2.5 years. Whew. Jim, you look wonderful. Thanks for another great show. Thank you very much, Kathleen in New York. Hope you're doing well. She also sends prayers for Mary and all affected by the hurricane, as do we. Merlin said that Mary Bishop and her family were evacuated from beautiful Pine Island, Florida yesterday. I believe they're over in Naples, but now they have to figure out where they're going to live, where they're going to go, because they lost everything on top of it. It's a sad situation for so many people, and we're here right with you, sending levity as much as we can. There's also, I believe, I think there's a GoFundMe that her daughter also created, or the family created to help, because I think they're going to have to stay with them up in Massachusetts. I'm in absolute awe. This has been an incredible conversation. I can't wait to watch it again from the start. Love it. That's double levity when you watch an episode twice. Right in the archives. Thank you so very much, Jim, for having David in Levity Hall. Isn't it cool when you turn on the show, and even if you're not sure what we're going to be saying or doing, and then you stick with it and you watch it, and it turns out to be like, wow, I love that. You know, we always try to have a good time here, and we always have poignant conversations and great entertainment too. And I like to leave you guys feeling good about everything, including life and yourselves. Sherry says, thank you for another wonderful show. David is amazing. Congratulations on the almost 800th show. Thank you very much, Sherry. We appreciate all you do for us, sending bear hugs and lots of love. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, Sherry. And everybody. And good stuff. Love it. Save the best for last. Absolutely. Good evening from G&G. G&G, welcome. It's so nice to see you. Yes. And everybody's saying hello here. This is nice. And you guys are great. Thanks for all of the great comments live. Those of you who are watching this later on, feel free to leave a comment on our YouTube channel. That really helps us grow, and it helps us expand what we do here at the Jim Masters Show. Give us a thumbs up too. There's a thumbs up icon on the YouTube channel. We would love it if you give us a thumbs up, a little thumbs up icon. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You see that red subscribe button that's on our channel? Click that. It doesn't cost a dime. And don't forget, very important, don't forget to click the notification bell. There's a little bell icon next to subscribe. Click the subscribe. You're part of the JMS Levity family. It doesn't cost anything. And then click the notification bell so you never miss any of the episodes. We had one of our Levity viewers over the weekend saying, when's the next show? So we posted, if you click the notification bell, when you click subscribe, you'll get alerts. You'll get just a little notice. Coming up, the Jim Masters Show with this guest at this time. So you'll never miss anything, especially those who want to be with us when the show is live. If you watch when everything is already archived, then that's great too. You can always see all of the episodes on a YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. But if you want to catch it while, we're doing it live, then make sure you click the notification bell. It's good anyway, because even if the show is something that isn't necessarily live, which 99% of them are, but if I'm out of town or something happens, Still, you'll be notified about all the episodes. You can participate, leave comments, interact with one another. Oh, Kathleen, thank you very much. She just did a really nice color blue super sticker. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Kathleen. I think that we're going to take that and probably replace a light bulb or something. Goes right back into the show and the content, the cost of everything, the Wi-Fi, the lights, everything that goes into it, all of the, the technology that we have, which we're always upgrading. So thank you very much. And all the hours we put in. It's like a full-time job now in a way. Thanks for the super sticker. Love it. Kathleen in New York City, you're the best. Really, really cool of you to do that. Gang, thanks for joining us. Take a look at our YouTube channel. See the amazing guests that are coming up this week. We have extraordinary people coming up this week. We've had extraordinary people who've been on the show, and some have also returned as well. It's always cool to have you here. We thank you very much for making us a part of your day today. And we'll be back. We'll be here. We never say goodbye. We say see you later. Ciao, cheers. Moi lu, sayonara, hasta la vista. Take care. Shalom. Be well. And don't forget to take care of one another. Love one another. And don't forget to take care of yourself. The name of the song is The Vow. David Seering, our guest. Look for his other music, too. He's got other albums and music out there and songs, too. He's been doing this for a long time. Singer, songwriter, and musician. And we appreciate him coming to us live on this episode from Denton, Texas, right there in the greater Dallas area. And we were just there a few weeks ago. All right. Be well. Take care. Good to see you. Thanks for being with us on the Jim Master Show live series. Let everybody know that we exist. Spread the word. Share the links on your social media and celebrate what we're doing here for all of you, for all of us here on the show. Cool stuff, gang. And thanks, Kathleen, again. Have a great night. Lovely hugs. Good night all to you as well. Good stuff. And Sherry Larson, too. Have a fabulous Tuesday. Love and hugs. We'll be here for you. Another great guest tomorrow. All week long, we've got them just for you. Take care wherever you're watching around the world. Thinking about you. And love you all. All right. This was a lot of fun tonight and quite moving and inspiring, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what we love. Good stuff here. Comments still pouring in. Thanks, Jim. You're welcome, Jane. And now you can go to bed. You're probably happy that we're doing the show earlier too, right? We're doing it at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. On Thursday of this week, a little programming note for those watching live. Our show is on earlier. It's on at 3 Eastern. So for those around the world in different time zones, you'll be able to catch it earlier. 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. I believe that's 8 o'clock in the UK. We have extraordinary tenor Jonathan Antoine joining us live from England. He's very, very well known. He's an incredible, powerful voice. He's only in his 20s. He's got all this extraordinary stuff that's happening, and he's going to be here on Thursday. Really cool. This is an exclusive. We're going to have a lot of fun with him, and he's got an incredible story to tell and much more. May even get some cool music. That's on Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. We'll make announcements. It's already on our YouTube channel, so scroll the YouTube channel to see some guests that are coming up. We don't have every single one posted, weeks and weeks in advance, but we do have the next several nights worth right there for you to check out. And while you're there, like, comment, subscribe. That really helps us. And that lets us know you appreciate what we're doing, gang. All right. That's enough talking for me. I've earned my supper, and we're going to have it right now. You be well. We'll see you on the next episode of the Jim Master Show Live. Take care. Be good to one another. Be good to yourself. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go eat and relax now. We sure are. Absolutely. Got a busy week ahead. See you soon. Thanks for joining us. Cheers.